Hey, what's up, everybody? And it's always good to be back with you. We got the Cubs at 13-3, and on top of the National League, taking on the Cardinals at home here. May 1st, 1908, we have made it to May. Patsy O'Rourke rolls a 42 for a 32. Fly ball over to right field. Schultz has it for the out, one away. Red Murray now, and he does. He gets a 66 for a 0, and here is the second part, and it's a 23 for a 6, so he doubles. Red Murray, a good part of this Cardinal team that is not playing as well as they could. And here is Ed Kenichi with a runner on second. He rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. Three-finger Brown gets him 2 away, and that'll bring up Al Shaw. And Shaw rolls a 32 for a 26 as a ground ball over to second base. Evers has that and throws over to the bag at first for the final out. We go to the bottom of the first. Johnny Evers now rolls a 16 for a 26. That'll be a ground ball over to Gilbert. Makes the play and throws to first for the out, 1 away. It's Frank Chance. Chance rolls a 23 for a 32 as a fly ball over to right field. Murray has that for the out, 2 away. Johnny Kling rolls a 62 for a 12, and here comes that little E roll. It's a 32, and that's going to be a little ground ball over to the first baseman Kenichi, who does it to the bag himself. And we go to the top of the second. Bobby Byrne now rolls an 11 for a 7 and gets the base hit over to right field. He'll be the runner on at first base, and here comes Bill Ludwig up. And question is, do we swing away or bunt? We'll bunt. And it's a 26 for a 30. That's a bunt over to the left side, and it's going to be Steinfeld who fields that one, throws over to Evers, covering the bag at first for the out, 1 away. Joe Delahanty now. Delahanty rolls an 11 for a 0, and the next roll is a 53 for a 6. That'll be a double, scoring the runner. St. Louis is up 1-0, and here's Billy Gilbert. Gilbert rolls a 32 for a 26. I'm at a pretty bad angle here, which is why I can't see anything. That's a ground ball over to Evers. The second baseman makes the play and throws to first for the out, but Delahanty moves up 2 away. Bugs Raven comes up there with the runner on a third. He rolls a 22 for an 8. That's going to be a single over second. That's the second run that scores of this inning. Here comes Patsy O'Rourke. And so I think Three-Finger Brown finds himself behind pretty early on. And Patsy O'Rourke rolls a 54 for a 45 as a fly ball over to Slagle in center field for the third out. We go to the bottom of the second. Jimmy Sheckard up there for the Cubs rolls a 12 for a 25. There's the little E comes into play again, and the little E rolls a 54. That's a ground ball over to second base. It's going to be Gilbert doing it again. Throws to first for the out, 1 away. Jimmy Slagle now. He rolls a 22 for an 8. That's a pop-up over behind third base. It's going to be Byrne who grabs that one for the out, 2 away. Joe Tinker rolls a 42 for a 23. That's changed to a 40. It's a foul ball. Next roll is a 35 for a 9. That's a strikeout. We go to the top of the third. 2-0 still Cardinals, and Red Murray's up there. Red rolls a 51 for an 8. There's a pop fly over behind third base. Steinfeld has that for the out, 1 away. Ed Kenichi rolls a 33 for a 0, and his next roll is a 31 for a 2. So Kenichi, who has a little bit of power, shows a lot of it there, getting the big triple, and that'll bring up Albert Shaw. Cubs are going to keep the infield back down by 2 already. And Shaw rolls a 26 for a 30. That's a fly ball over to Sheckard in the left. He catches it, and the runner scores. The runner does not score. There were 2 outs already. Well, that's why the infield was back. My apologies. I thought there was only 1. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Cardinals, and it's Harry Steinfeld. And he rolls a 54 for a 45. Here's that little E. It's a 52 roll. That ends up being a fly ball over to Murray in right field for the first out. 1 away. Wildflower Schultz now. He rolls a 56 for a 34. That's just a little pop-up over to the shortstop O'Rourke for the second out, and it's Three-Finger Brown. Brown rolls a 53 for a 21, changed to 22. That's going to be an error on Raymond, the pitcher, and he, I think, is the first base runner here for the Cubs. He'll bring up Johnny Evers, who rolls a 42 for a 14, and he takes his ball on the walk by Raymond. So runners on a first and second out for Frank Chance. Chance rolls a 45 for a 14 on walks, and that'll walk the bases loaded. 2 walks here for Raymond. He has 14 so far this season. Up next, Johnny Kling rolls a 25 for an 8. That's a fly ball over to right field. Murray, the right fielder, is there for the out. We go to the top of the fourth. Still no score for the Cubs, 2 for the Cardinals, 2-0 the ball game. This will be Bobby Byrne, who rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a comeback to Three-Finger Brown, who throws to first for the out, 1 away. It's now Bill Ludwig, who rolls a 56 for a 34. Pop up to the shortstop. Tinker has that one for the second out, and it's Joe Delahanty now. Delahanty rolls a 56 for a 34. Another pop-up over to Tinker, the shortstop, and we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Jimmy Sheckard up there. Sheckard rolls a 66 for a 0, and then a 42 for a 6. So that'll be a double for Sheckard. That'll bring up Jimmy Slagle now with a runner on at second. First hit of the game for Chicago. Slagle rolls a 43 for a 29. That's a ground ball over to Kenichi, the first baseman, and he hits Raymond covering. 1 away, and Joe Tinker's up there. The infield comes in. He rolls a 45 for a 14. I'm sorry, I put the bunt on. Whoops. Aha. And so Tinker ends up getting injured by this hit by a pitch because I hit bunt instead of infield in. That is my mistake. We'll go ahead and go along with that. But Tinker then has to leave the game because of an injury to him by that hit by a pitch. And so that's what happens when you really stick yourself in there. Heine Zimmerman's going to come in, and he'll be the new first baseman. Now we have the infield in. Harry Steinfeld comes up. And he rolls a 31 for a 9, and that's a fly ball over to left field, and that will score the runner. Makes it a 2-1 ball game, and Zimmerman stays put. 2-1 now, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning, and Wildfire Schultz rolls a 32 for a 26. That's going to be a ground ball over to the second baseman. Where are you? Gilbert flips over to O'Rourke for the force out. We go to the top of the 5th, and it's Billy Gilbert up there. Gilbert rolls a 46 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to third base. It's going to be Steinfeld who fields that, throws the first for the out, one away. Bugs Raymond now rolls a 52 for a 27. Another ground ball over to Steinfeld. The third baseman throws the first for the second out. It's Patsy O'Rourke now, and he rolls a 16 for a 26. That's a ground ball this time over to the second baseman Evers, who throws the first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still a 2-1 ball game. Three-Finger Brown up there rolls a 63 for a 29. That's a comebacker to Bugs Raymond, who throws the first for the out, one away. Johnny Evers. Evers up there rolls a 53 for an 18. That's going to be an error, of course, of the shortstop O'Rourke. Puts Evers on at first, and it's hit and run time here for Frank Chance. He rolls a 24 for a 13. And that's a strikeout. Strike him out, throw him out. That's what happens when you hit and run sometimes is Evers didn't have a chance up there with Chance striking out. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and it's Red Murray. Murray rolls a 14 for a 43, and Little Udice rolls a 31 out of the range. That's a fly ball over to Shecker in the left for the first out, one away, and is Ed Kenichi. Kenichi rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball over to Evers at second. He makes the play and throws the first for the out, 2 away, and that will bring up Al Shaw. And Shaw rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a fly ball over to center field, and the center fielder Slagle has that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's going to be Johnny Kling, who rolls a 42 for a 38, changed to a 23. That's going to be an error on Ludwig, the catcher. That was a swinging bunt that landed right in front of Ludwig, and he made a bad throw to first. And that means there's a runner on at first here for Jimmy Sheckard. We'll hit and run again. He rolls a 55 for a 9. That's going to be a ground ball over to O'Rourke, who makes the play and throws the first for the out. Kling moves up to second, one away, and it's Slagle up there. Slagle rolls the 61 for a 29. Comebacker over to Raymond, who goes to first with it for the out, but there's 2 away. And it's Heine Zimmerman now. Zimmerman rolls a 14 for a 43. It's a fly ball over to left field. Delahanty has that for the out. We go to the top of the 7th inning. This is another exciting one. Bobby Byrne here for the Cardinals rolls a 55 for a 9. He gets the base hit and then is caught stealing because of the little C. 1 out for Bill Ludwig, who rolls a 22 for an 8. That's a ground ball over to the shortstop Zimmerman, who throws the first for the out, 2 away. It's Joe Delahanty, and he rolls a 62 for a 12. That's a ground ball over to Chance. The first baseman does it to the bag himself. We go to the bottom of the 7th now. Harry Steinfeld. Steinfeld rolls the 66 for a 0, and then a 54 for an 11. So he gets a single, then steals second right afterwards. That'll bring up Wildfire Schultz, who's hitting poorly. He's going to bunt. He rolls a 12 for a 24. He misses 2 attempts to bunt. 2 strikes on him, and he rolls a 43 for a 29. It's a comeback over to Raymond, who goes to first with it. That's as good as a bunt, and the infield comes in, and Three-Finger Brown as well will try to bunt. And the roll is a 42 for a 13, and that's a strike, and the runner's thrown out of home. So that happens from time to time, and it happened to us again here. Next roll is a 22 for an 8. That's a fly ball over to center field. Shaw has it for the out. We go to the top of the 8th inning. A little bit too aggressive, I think, on my part, and it's going to be Billy Gilbert up there. Rolls a 45 for a 14, and he walks, and that'll bring up Bugs Raymond. Now Raymond will bunt for the Cardinals. And he rolls a 23 for a 30, and he shows Brown how to bunt. That's a good bunt down to the left side. Steinfeld has to throw over to Evers, covering the bag at first, and Gilbert moves up to second base. Now it's Patsy O'Rourke, and he'll roll a 13 for a 39, and that's going to mean that Gilbert is out caught stealing. You're going to have to invent your own story as to what happened there because he's slow. Normally we wouldn't have him steal, but I'm not turning that off here in this situation in case something good happens. And O'Rourke then rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a fly ball over to center field, and it will be Slagle there with the catch for the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Johnny Evers up there rolls a 53 for an 18. That's changed to 19. That's going to be an error on Bobby Byrne. The third baseman allows Evers to reach first. Nobody out here bottom of the 8th, and it's Frank Chance. Chance rolls a 66 for a 0, and then a 53 for a 6. And so that hit and run double will score the run, and that's going to turn this into a tie ball game. Apologies for the little bit of hesitation here, but again, as usual, I'm being fouled up by that stupid lineup thing that's built into this game. Because I want to get the screenshot of what happened, not of some random player down here in the lineup. Chance is on at second after the double. 2-2 ball game. Johnny Kling up there. Only 3 hits for the Cubs so far. Kling rolls a 35 for a 9. That's going to be a single over second base, and that will score the runner. And so just like that, Kling has driven in the potential winning run, and that's what it's like for these Cubs, who seem to win everything. So bottom of the 8th inning drama here for Chicago is they are able to get 2 runs in very, very quickly. Still nobody out, and Jimmy Sheckard is up there. And Sheckard rolls a 66 for a 0, and the next roll is a 16 for a 6, and that'll be a double sending Kling over to third base. And here comes Jimmy Slagle, and I got to wonder about Raymond if we're going to stay with him. I think we will. Infield will come in. Slagle's going to swing away. And it's a 64 for a 13. Good thing I didn't try to bunt with him. Zimmerman now, the infield comes in again. And he rolls a 51 for an 8. And that's a fly ball over to center field. Shaw has it for the out, but another run scores. It's 4-2. And it's Steinfeld up there now with the runner on a third. The roll is a 65 for a 35. And the little E rolls a 52. It's out of the range. That's a little pop-up over behind shortstop. O'Rourke has that for the out. And we will go to the top of the 9th inning. It's Red Murray who will start this one up there. Red Murray leading this off for the Cardinals, now down by 2. Murray rolls a 25 for an 11, so he gets the base hit and is able to steal second after that. So hold on to your horses because this one may end up coming down to the wire. Murray gets the base hit. He's a runner on at second base, and here comes Ed Kenichi. Kenichi up there is 1 for 3 today with that triple. So we'll see if Ed can get another hit. Let's see what happens. His roll is a 43 for a 29. That's a little ground ball over to first base. Chance has it, flips over to Brown, covering of the bag. We've had a lot of those 43s for 29s so far today. And let's see here. We're going to get this one again. It's happened to me once again where that thing throws me off every time. And part of the reason why that keeps happening, by the way, is because pushing print screen does nothing here on the Windows side. I have to go over to my other monitor on the Linux side. And it's easier to go up than it is to go down. That's what's going on. If I go up, I'm likely to snag into one of these poorly designed. That's all I'm going to say about it. Albert Shaw in the infield will stay deep. Shaw rolls a 41 for a 28, and that's a ground ball over to the shortstop. And Zimmerman has it, throws to first for the out, and that scores the runner. And so that will score that run. And you can see I've done it again. That scores that run, and it's not a great play necessarily by Shaw because there are no runners on base now, but it does make this into a one-run ball game. I don't think there's really a way that you can play an offense in that situation to not play for one run. So take what you can get. Bobby Byrne now with 1 run in, 4-3 ball game, and nobody on. And Byrne rolls a 52 for a 27. That's going to be a ground ball over to the third baseman Steinfeld, who makes the play, throws over to first for the out, and that's the end of this ball game. So the Cubs end up winning this one with that big 3-run burst in the bottom of the 8th, and that does it for this. I will talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.